welcome back to this channel, which is officially called Wonderfully Made, because I believe with all of my heart that we are all each wonderfully made. And my name is Denise Creel McDowell, and it is my desire to bring you things that are wonderfully made, whether that's a view of our emerging flower garden that I say we, the reality is my husband is doing the majority of the work. I give a thumbs up and I give a like, yay, and attaboy. But the reality is, because of the things I deal with, which is part of what you'll see here if you aren't already familiar with that I deal with some conditions like chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia and a host of other things. But the majority of what is shared here is my life and the things that I get excited about and passionate about, and one of which is fashion. And I'm so excited about what I have to share with you today because it's all about summer trends and how, as I'm filming this in the middle of July, which, like it or not, means back to school. And with that comes all of the influx of the retailing of back to school, fall fashion, all of those things. And I don't want to rush any of that. I love soaking in every season. But it is just a reality that it's going to start hitting. And so I thought I would love to touch on the summer trends that are happening right now that you can still get your hands on and still wear to any and all of the summer festivities, and how you can take those trends and wear them and style them through summer, through the end of summer, the beginning of fall, and well into the cooler months of fall, especially if you live in warmer climates like I do. I want to briefly explain my feelings on trends. I feel like the word trend, especially now with the influx of social media and all the things that we're bombarded with, can really have a bad connotation, and rightly so sometimes. But the reality is, trends don't dictate what we wear. What they do is inform us of, one, what is going to be available to buy in the stores when we go shopping or online when we shop, as well as helping us stay updated in our styles. Even if you have the most classic traditional style ever, you're going to want to know what is on trend. Doesn't mean you have to partake in any of them, but if you step out of trends altogether, you run the risk of looking outdated. And while that is 100% your choice, it needs to be a choice, meaning I believe you need to have the information to choose what trends you want to participate in, which ones you don't. And to give a little Gen X context, it would be like one of us seeing a woman when we were growing up with a bouffant hairdo. We would be looking at her like, did you not get the memo? Like, perms and layers are all the rage. What are you thinking? And that's kind of what I mean. You could still be rocking a bouffant hairdo if that is all you, and if that defines part of your style. But the honest reality is, you have to know that for the majority of people, that's going to look and feel dated. And again, if that's okay with you, more power to you, sister. You got all the rights and the privileges and the freedom to do whatever you want. But if it's a lack of knowledge and lack of awareness of what's happening, of what's trending, because you're not at that season of life where it's just influxing into your feed, then that's okay. Share with you the trends that I have found very easy to blend into my wardrobe, and I do not spend a lot of money on trends that I feel like may be, a minute and a half long. So not to worry. The things I'm going to share with you today are maxi skirts, scarves, shoes, like those shoes I have on today. I'll go in more detail later about those. Heritage dressing, which just means looking back in time and bringing some of those classics forward with embroidery, that sort of thing. I've touched on that on my channel before, and I can leave some of those videos if you want to go back and watch those, as well as a very Americana look that's very, very popular right now. I've seen a rise in Tommy Hilfiger. I mean, Ralph Lauren's never gone away, but the whole look of the Americana, the bear, the flags, all of that is very big right now. Again, it's just been the 4th of July, and the United States is celebrating the 250th anniversary of a birthday, if you will, of us becoming a country in 1776. So all of that makes sense. And again, I remember in 1976, when it was the bicentennial, I was had just turned 7 years old. Everything was about what it was like in the 1700s. And there was even a mini series called Centennial, and I remember watching that and just being in awe of all those things. Every wallpaper, every thing in your furniture had the eagle and the flags and all of that. So it's very normal for trends to be a part of our culture, and not just pop culture, but every part of culture. And so that's what I'm saying. It's not something that you have to feel intimidated by and go, oh my gosh, I am never doing anything that is trendy because I don't want to look like that kind of person who's following every trend. Well, no, of course not. Like, there's no need in that. And I think what's lovely about each of us having such unique personalities, unique styles, we are all created differently, that we get to decide, I think I'm going to choose that and see how that goes. I'm going to pick this, and you might be wrong. You might get something and go, oh no, that is definitely not for me. But again, I just want to be that person who helps inform you of what might be trending that you might not be aware of. And it might be something that you really enjoy. And this current outfit is maxi skirts. I love a maxi dress, love a maxi skirt. If you're really tall, this might come at midi length, but it is definitely a maxi on me. I'm 5'2", so petite girls, this is what it looks like. I have on these trending shoes, which are a thong, flip-flop, kitten heel, and the return of the jelly shoe. I love a jelly shoe. I always did, but these I wanted to try, and I've paired this maxi skirt with a linen blend jacket to keep a little bit of structure and to stay within my style. So without further ado, let's go straight into more of the skirts that I have. And if you were wondering which retailer has most of these styles that I'm bringing to you today, well, if you've watched any of my videos thus far, it won't be hard to guess. It is TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And again, part of the reason I do that is because of the cost is unbelievable for the fabrics and the quality that I think you get. And it's also because I think it's so unique. Like, anyone you watch will be able to share with you what they have available at Walmart and Old Navy and LOFT and Quince and all of the ones. And I will be bringing those in and out as well. But TJ Maxx and Marshalls, to me, just have things that you're just not going to find anywhere else. So let's go into seeing some more styles, shall we? Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I am definitely, I'm ready. Now I'm ready for Italy. This feels very European. I was gonna say summer. Definitely could wear this in summer. It definitely feels like if you're going to the warmer parts of Italy, France, all the things, that this would go right into the fall. Just like if you're coming to Georgia in the summer, late summer, early fall, like this will work. This is a more ivory colored maxi skirt. Absolutely gorgeous. This is what I think I'm going to keep this one because the embroidery, the lace, the crochet, again, one of this year's big trends is that heritage look. The scarf, all of the above. I'll come in and show you what it looks like so you can see all of the beautiful details. But what is so amazing about this is a maxi skirt. It is listed again. I get so tickled with TJ Maxx and Marshalls. The way it's listed is it says, this is a brand called Love the Label. Well, on the tag, it says Jennifer and Grace. So I think, again, it's one of those, for whatever reason, whether Jennifer and Grace, they want to kind of stay under the radar and not be known for being in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I don't know. Or if whoever's putting in the information just needs a placeholder. I don't know. But it's a little bit like, do you remember going to the fall festivals and you would like do the fishing thing or the duck thing and you turn over a number and you never knew what your prize was going to be? Sometimes it is a little bit like that with TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I have to say, I'm going to be honest, I love them. But some of the things, I just want to sit down with them, the buyers and the marketers, and go, I have questions. Can you help me understand? So this says Love the Label is the label, the brand, but on the tag it says Jennifer and Grace. Regardless, it is 100% cotton inside and out. It has a beautiful lining. Beautiful lining. The lining is not beautiful. The fact that it is cotton is beautiful. But the skirt itself, I love this. I love this so much. And just I wanted to throw in all of the trends I didn't put on the thong kitten heels because you can imagine that it would look like this. What I did pair it with, again, trying to keep in with that sense of, as a petite woman, sorry, this sound is dry. I'm going to take it off. I'm just going to take it off. It's so cute, but it's driving me crazy. As a petite woman, again, if you are 5'4" and taller, I feel sure ballet flats, whatever type of shoe you want to wear with this isn't going to matter. But for me, there's a couple of the styling things I want to point out on the way that I'm wearing this, the way that I'm styling this, and it works because I'm petite, particularly, let me back up. This helps because I am petite. So the wedges I have on, they are a leather pair of wedges that I got last year or 2 years ago. Sorry, it all runs together when I started looking for things like this. And these are, I cannot remember the brand, but it was TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And this is a 4-inch wedge. Now, it has enough of a platform, so when you're looking for wedges, I don't do wedges that are like like a straight incline like that. Can't do heels that way, can't do wedges that way. But when they have a bit of a platform, and I know platforms aren't necessarily in, but again, when you're petite, having having a platform at the bottom where your toes are that will sort of balance out the height helps so much, even with a wedge. So it's really almost impossible to achieve that with any kind of stiletto without the platform near the toe being huge. But with a wedge, you can kind of do that. And this carries into that transitional season because it's not an espadrille. It is a sandal, but it is close to my skin tone. It is leather. And so this would be what I would go to right before I would go to a loafer, and then after that go to a boot, depending on the weather. So I found these, they are incredibly comfortable given the height that I get out of it. So I went from what, 5'2" to 5'6". All of a sudden, like, look, my head is taller than my mirror, which is never the case. So I wanted to share that in case you are someone who's like, I cannot wear heels anymore. That's exactly what I used to say as well. And that was because I was still thinking about heels in terms of really high heels with a really sharp incline. I have high arches. And so what I've done in this shoe is I've added an adhesive arch. Like, you can get arch supports to put in tennis shoes and loafers and that sort of thing. It's a little trickier when you're wearing sandals. And I will list these that I found on Amazon because they are just a gel-like padded arch support that you can put if you don't have enough. This has had a nice arch support, but I wanted even a little more. And so when I'm walking, it's not like I'm walking on my tiptoes. And because it's a wedge, it is far more stable. Given, I say that with a grain of salt because, you know, sometimes stable is in the eye of the beholder or in the walker. But this is an incredibly stable pair of wedges. So I'm showing it as an example of something you could look for to help with that. Give you height, give you the look you want, staying in that, like, this is 100% summer, but could easily transition into late summer, early fall, depending on your weather, obviously, as I keep saying. The little basket bag, you could trade this out when it starts to get closer to the fall for a suede bag or a faux suede bag or a leather bag, and add the jacket, add all the things just like with the others to bring it into more of a fall look. I put my bag away so that I can show you and talk with my hands. I went with a tonal look with this, as well as this neutral colored scarf. So I'm going to come up so you can see it up close. I even went tonal with my sunglasses. But the scarf is lovely. I don't know if you can see, but again, this is not the 100% silk ones. They have not come in yet, but I will show you those when I show you the blue and the red skirts coming up. But this is what it looks like. Paisley, that same sweaters, cotton, 100% cotton sweater. But this is the showstopper part to me. Look at that. I mean, I just think that is so pretty. And then it's got the pin tucking, and then it just repeats this. So you don't need a belt because this is so decorative. But if you wanted to add a belt, obviously we could add a chocolate belt or any color belt you wanted to accessorize with this. But it just kind of repeats the crochet, lacy looking part, pin tucking, and then the crocheting part. And then again, pin tucking, crochet. And it also had these sweet little, I don't don't know what that's called. Is that a Swiss dot kind of look? Whatever that is called. It is clearly something I like because I've got another dress that had this on it and I absolutely loved it. It was the white dress. This has pockets. As I said, it's 100% cotton inside and out. You could do your scarf this way. You could do it as more of a French kind of thing on the side. You could do this in the front. What I have found, again, as someone who needs more of me showing, especially if I've got volume or a lot of coverage at the bottom, is that I need to keep this area open as much as I possibly can. And so what I did was tie it that way, but making sure that I didn't lose the V-neck. So I would suggest if you are vertically challenged as I am, but you want to wear a scarf around your neck, just do so in a way that mimics a V-neck. You may try it around your neck and, all the way up, almost like a turtleneck, and it look amazing. I encourage you to play around with it, see what you think. But if you want to wear it around your waist, that you can do as well. You will obviously cover up the crochet at this level, but you'll still see it all throughout the rest of the skirt. You can turn it to the side, you can turn it to the front, you could even tie this and have the little V in the back where this looks like a little belt. However you want to do it. And again, you're not married to having to try this trend. I just think it's beautiful. It's very feminine, very classic, goes along with that very heritage look that I think is really nice. But because it's such an inexpensive way to add a little bit of something to your look, I think it's a fun thing to try, and it doesn't cost you much. And if you hate it, just return it. But if you love it, you could start with something super, super neutral like this one. Let me pull in so you can see the pretty design. Isn't that lovely? So pretty. Or you could try this one. This again, Amazon. It's so pretty. So this is what it looks like. It is, I would consider this a little more toned down version of a floral, but again, just lovely in my humble opinion. I want to show you up close what the scene looks like. Do I have the birds right? I don't have my glasses on, so I think they're in the right. I think the birds are flying up and not down. So you could put this with it. I added, again, this, I kept it very tonal with the beiges and the ivory. Same with this, same with that. But you can go hog wild with color if you decided to. And I used this scarf to style this skirt with not only the lovely pink top that I have, which, by the way, is another trend. We could add that, I think, trend number 6, which would be the bubble hems, both in a shirt or in a skirt or in a dress. The thing, I think I've said this before, the thing I love about a bubble hem is that it just helps create that cropped look without having to tuck something in. And with these kind of skirts, that's really helpful because you don't want to add a lot of volume, a lot of bulk right here. And if you want to show this, having a bubble hem really helps with that. But keeping it very summery with this yellow sleeveless top, that's 100% linen by the brand Joy. Again, came from TJ Maxx and Marshalls. And I do think one of the things that is important to remember when you're thinking of styling maxi skirts, again, particularly if you're petite, but I think really at any stage or any shape or any height, is the proportional balance. Because if you have very blousy shirt on the top, which I have some cutaways of what that would look like. The skirt is lovely. This is the blue skirt that'll be coming up. And I had that linen floral blue top, and I just thought, oh, I wonder what that would look like with it, because it's kind of matchy, the colors match. Well, I think I could wear it, let's be fair, but look at the proportion difference. And that's what I would say, just keep your eye on, be aware of that if you have a very voluminous bottom, both in your skirt and otherwise, but if your skirt is fuller or maxi length or whatever it may be, and you have on a shirt or a top and you can't figure out why it doesn't make you feel like you want to feel, it doesn't look like how you want it to look, it's probably a proportion issue. And that's one of the reasons I really like wearing these with a sleeveless top, is because it sort of balances this out. This is not a form-fitting sweater by any stretch. It's got lots of room, but it does give me a little more balance because you can see my shoulders, which again, these line up with my hips. And that's just what you want to keep in mind as you're adding in a top to these kind of things. So one of the ideas is you could put a very structured blazer on, which I've done here, and that for me changed the way all of it looked. I was like, oh yeah, that I could do. Now those are some bright colors, but I love a tonal look, but I also love color. And so when I put on that red linen blazer, that made all the difference in how it made me feel. You may not be a blazer person at all, and that's okay. So you might want to look for tops that have puff sleeves or more structure. Again, all you're trying to do is keep that balance proportional, and when you put it on, if you feel like something's off, think about it. Go, wait, is it that I just don't like this, or is it because I'm not styling it with a top that is helping me keep that balance? I've mentioned her channel before, but Melissa Morell is an absolute brilliant stylist. Highly recommend. They even have a membership channel now that you can pay extra per month to get even more insights. I haven't done that yet, but I'll let you know if I do and how that goes, but I'm sure it's amazing. But I would highly recommend. She talks about her hourglass theory, which I think seems to be brilliant. If you are really struggling with that, that might be a great resource for you. All right, so let's go. I want to show you what this looks like full on into autumn, and then we're going to go straight into the next 3 skirts that we have. All right, I made some simple changes. I put on my ivory colored boots, very pointy toe, love them. Got these on Amazon. I had someone ask me one time if these were Stuart Weitzman, I think is what they asked. I was like, nope, these are Amazon. So I am sure it is a lookalike for one of the designers, but they're very comfortable. They do have a good bit of heel on it for me, but they're super comfortable. Again, I wouldn't walk Mount Everest in them, but I've worn them for 2 fall winters in a row and have absolutely loved them. I have them in this ivory color and in the black, and if they are still available on Amazon, obviously I will link them like everything else in the description box. And as I've shared before, the description box is that place, the place where all of the details of every outfit, everything that I can remember to put in there, is there for you, links provided. There is a limited number of characters that I'm allowed to use in the description box, and because I'm yet to be affiliated, I did get an associate link with Amazon. I don't know what that means. It's not the same as an influencer link. I don't even know I don't know if it benefits me or not. It was suggested that I sign up for it, so I have. Just so you know, so that the Amazon links are a little shorter now, so that's helpful. TJ Maxx and Marshalls, their links aren't super long, but I tell you what, other retailers, it's like their links are this long, and it takes up all this character space. So if you don't see or find what you're looking for in the description box, which is usually below my head or to the side, one of the sides, then definitely look in the first comment, because that's usually me putting everything back in. And often I put even more in that comment because I will find something similar. And if all I have in the description box is the link for the actual thing, then what I'll do is put multiple similar things in the comment section. I like to have choices, and so it's like, well, I found the right color, but maybe not the right fabric, and so I have 2 things that I want to share with y'all. So definitely look in the first comment if you can't find it, and if you still can't find it, leave a comment yourself asking me, hey, do you have a link for whatever, the blazer or the skirt, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can and let you know, and that way everyone will get to see the new link as I put it in as an answered comment to you. And of course, the other trend that we've been talking about is the scarf. So I moved the scarf down again, didn't make it to the side, but I just made it like a belt, and it does cover up the crochet, but I thought it brings in that chocolate brown into the whole tonal look, breaks up the cream on cream, and gives you a little bit of interest here. So, and it's not a belt, so it really isn't, it doesn't like tighten in. It's just here for visual interest and to look pretty, which I really like. My hope is that this is helpful to see how a beautiful summer skirt, maxi, on trend, hot for the summer, trendy thing is not just for summer, and it could take you all the way through late summer and into the fall, because that is just, I think that's just a practical way to think about buying clothes. And this one is particularly lovely to me. This is probably one of my very favorite things out of the whole haul. So up next, our second maxi skirt I want to share with you. It is a linen blend. It is linen and viscose. However, when I just checked, it has sold out. I am so sorry. If this happens, I still want to show it to you because there is one just like it. This is Rachel Zoe, and there is one just like it in a baby blue. And I think I would probably even prefer that over this just because I have another white maxi skirt. But I wanted to share this with you. I will, as always, look for something similar because it is lovely, lovely. And I want to do the, hey, here's what it looks like in the height of summer, and here's what it looks like as we get into late summer, and here's how you can still wear it, even though it is a linen white skirt, if you live somewhere like I do, where the temperatures stay warm until October and November, and then go back and forth between hot and cold, hot and cold. You may not want to wear a linen skirt, but I'm just want to show you that you could, should you want to take it a little more autumnal as we go into those transitional moments. Okay, so this, so pretty, and it matches this 100%, oops, it matches this 100% linen shirt that I got from TJ Maxx and Marshall a couple of months ago so well. And as you can see in the cutaways, this is what it looks like with it tucked in. And I've got my, oh, these are one of my new favorite things. These are a pair of kitten heel shoes from Amazon. I got them during the Prime Day sale. I think it was $25. They are very Dior-esque. I may have already shown them, but I love them. Love them, love them, love them. They are cloth. I did spray them with like a suede protector just to help with if I get something on it because they're white and they're cloth. But I've had the hardest time finding white, like bright white, true white, pointed toe kitten heel shoes that are comfortable, that are in my price range. And when I saw these and got them, and they weren't eggshell, they weren't ecru, they weren't, you know, mother of pearl, they were bright white, which is what I wanted because I had a cream pair, I have an ivory pair already. I wanted bright white, and these are, so love them so much. And I wanted to show, this is the blank canvas of this skirt and a white top and white shoes. So this is where you could start. And I went and just grabbed a chocolate brown Amazon belt to break up the monotony of the white, although that it's lovely. Like there's time and a place where I would just go, no, I'm just wearing head to toe white, and even take out the shirt. Like, let's see what it looks like. Let me just be comfortable. Don't belt it. Don't do anything. But then there are the accessories that always bring everything to another level. So I wanted to show this is one way. Just do one change, and that's a brown, chocolate brown belt. It is very long. It does not have a slit anywhere. Again, as someone who's 5'2", look how long it is. But if you're a little taller and it would come to there, that would look really pretty as well. I'm not telling you not to get it because you could, I mean, it looks like a long dress. Like this looks like a long white dress. But probably another reason why I might not keep this one is for that reason as well. It is a teeny bit see-through, I think, for me. I'm guessing the blue one won't be, but white, anytime you have a linen 100% linen or linen blend that's white, you're gonna run into that, and you could easily add a cotton slip. The cotton slips that I've shown before on Amazon, they're very reasonably priced, very comfortable, and you could either get it in a white or you could get it in whatever your skin tone color is, and that's probably the best route, but sometimes white is fine as well. So it just depends on your preference, but this is how long it is. But it is so soft, absolutely gorgeous. I'll come in just in case you decide you do want to look at the blue one. Let me see, let me get this so you can see how pretty the little lines, the pleating here is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it. And it's flat. I don't know if you could pick that up, but it's flat here and has elastic in the back. And so since it isn't available, I probably won't go through all of the changes that I did with the other one. I'll change into one more autumn-like outfit to show you what it would look like if you are someone who is not afraid to wear white after Labor Day, because again, historically, you know where that comes from. I could share it with you, but it's not relevant to today. Now, I have friends that would smack me around and go, excuse me. And I get that. But for me, that's no longer a relevant rule that I pay attention to. I wear white whenever I want to wear white. I think it's beautiful. Again, it's all about being bright. If you wanted to find multi ways to wear this for several months, I can show you that. So I'm going to show you one other way to wear it with. Say that one day in early September that it got a little chilly, this is what you could do to it. This is what white in fall looks like. These are my chocolate brown kitten heel boots from Walmart that I have mentioned before, and adding in the chocolate brown belt as well as my chocolate brown faux suede jacket that I got last year. This is one way you could do that. It gives you a little piece of the two seasons mixed together, but it's also, if you're like, hey, I know 2 days from now we're going to go right back to 90 degrees because of where you live, like where we live, just having this handy and having boots handy for those few days where it felt chilly, you could do that. So anyway, don't want to spend a lot of time on this one just because you can get the visual of what it's like to have a long white maxi skirt, but unfortunately this one is no longer available. You'll understand why I'm laughing. This is the glamorous life of doing these kind of fun things, is that I'm putting this all together. I'm like, and I look down, I'm like, wait a minute, this is inside out. This is inside out. So I'll be right back, and I'm going to turn my shirt inside out so that you can actually see what this looks like. Okay, I'm properly dressed. The buttons, the shiny part of the buttons go on the outside, girlfriends, in case you didn't know that, because clearly I was struggling. Okay, so it is getting later and I still have 2 skirts I want to get to before I wrap it up, because I never know how I'm going to feel the next day. I have been continuing with the fibromyalgia flare, and I've been taking some things that help me during the day, but it just isn't always a guarantee. So I am trying to finish this up so that I can take a deep breath. Whatever remains at the end of this may have to come later. We'll see. But I wanted to share this one with you because looky there. It has buttons, like I said, like a shirt dress, and it was surprisingly hard to find. All of the maxi skirts are just that, just completely maxi without any slits, but I shouldn't say all. The ones I found on TJ Maxx and Marshalls in the price range, in fabric content that I really like. So I haven't seen this combo of materials very often before. The outside of the skirt is a linen rayon blend that I've seen before, but the liner is 100% cotton. So that's really nice. Usually it's the other way around. It'll be like a linen cotton blend and the rayon is on the inside, but I was like, oh, well, that's really nice. So what's touching your skin is 100% cotton. And I really love a couple of things about this. All of these lighter colored white, ivory, beige skirts have a lot of things in common, but I wanted to show them all to you. I love that it is open, gives you the freedom to open it up with buttons, but I also love that it creates this line doing that, as well as these where the crocheted beautiful lacy part creates lines. It is not full from the hips out like an A-line. It is a little, it's not snug. I did go up a size because I didn't want it to be snug, so this is a small. Often I get an extra small. I am in between sizes right now. As I shared, my weight is kind of going up. Part of the cortisol, part of all the stuff, but it is. And so I'm not quite sure. I often now have to buy 2 sizes at one time just to see. And this is very roomy as a small. But what that does is it goes down, and it's not like it's a mermaid style, but it is very flowy at the bottom. So it gives a lot of movement there as well as, you know, through here. Lots of room. I could have probably done the extra small, but I think the small, I kind of like it right now. Because of my skin issues, I like things not being tight. It's a thing. So without further ado, this is what the summer version of it would look like. This is a cotton modal sweater. Obviously it's chocolate brown with the piping. Love a piping, again, because it helps create those lines. And this would take me, I could wear this, maybe not in the heat of the day outside, certainly inside somewhere, because it is very thin. But this would take me into late summer, early fall, and then obviously I could just change out these shoes, use the chocolate boots, the chocolate colored boots, and this would coordinate beautifully. But I could also go full on autumn and use that cotton sweater that I've used before, the sleeveless one, as a base layer, and that's what this would look like. So let me come in and show you what it looks like up close. It is so pretty. It is flat through here. The buttons go all the way up. They are all functional buttons. And then you have this detail. Again, it's pockets. It's fully lined. It's pockets. It has pockets and is fully lined. Has this beautiful detail here. I don't know. Let me pull this down even further and step back so you can see how pretty the lines, the V, the up, the down. Again, it's getting late, but just wanted to show how lovely that is. It's elastic in the back. Pockets, love it, love it, love it. It's going to be hard to choose. I was gonna just keep one. I need to keep just one, but this one is real. It hits a lot of the boxes that I like, both having, I mean, they all had pockets. That was a must-have. But I love that it opens up at the bottom. So we'll see, we'll see. This is the full-on, I've moved into autumn with my beautiful skirt and put on the suede jacket using the scarf as a sort of belt. This a little bit different instead of tying it in a bow here. This, I just thought I'm gonna bring it almost like a little handkerchief where it comes to a point, which kind of mimics what's going on in the skirt. Most importantly, as we've talked about, that this skirt is open, a little knee-edge, which is great for summer, but it's also really important for those transitional days of, again, late summer, early fall. If you want to button it all the way up, you can, but for me, this would be lovely. You could, if I wanted to, I could add thermal stockings to keep everything warm if it began to be that cool. This is how I would style it to move into the fall. Throw in a wild card suggestion for you and just hear me out on this one. Have you ever thought about taking your maxi sundresses, like this one is, believe it or not, underneath here? Are you ready for it? Ta-da! That feels really weird to do. But it's a sundress that I love, but I know because of the color, because of it's 100% cotton, it's so lovely. And today we're actually not in the extreme heat. It's not cool by any stretch of the imagination, but we're not 100 degrees. And I had an appointment and I wanted to wear this dress, but it felt a little, I'm just gonna be honest, it felt a little boobalicious to be wearing not on vacation to an appointment. Let me just put it that way. And I tried on cardigans. I even tried on putting a little cashmere sweater over the top. But this I had in my closet, and I don't get to wear it a lot in the summer because it is a sweater, but it's a sleeveless sweater. Anyway, I just thought I'm gonna try it on with this and see how I feel about it. And I loved it. You may not love it, but I loved it. I loved the way it still gave me the look I wanted. It has that maxi skirt feeling, but it's not a skirt, it's a dress. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a possibility that if you don't have skirts, but you want that look of a maxi skirt, you can recreate something. You can invent your own version as I did. No one's gonna know the difference and it's gonna have that same look. So I love this, and I have just been, this afternoon I put on these kitten heels that are my skin tone so that it helps elongate. Again, with a maxi skirt at my height, it can be really challenging to keep the proportions correct, to keep that elongated look going. A pointed toe kitten heel shoe, my skin tone, next to my skin. It follows the color scheme of the skirt. I felt like really helped do that. So I've enjoyed this today and just thought I would share it with you. It is an older sundress from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, of course. It has pockets. I love it, and I love it as a sundress when I'm out and about for that. But today I wanted to wear something like this, and I thought I need to share that with them because you can take any kind of vest, any kind of sweater, and you can recreate or morph your sundresses into maxi skirts should you desire to do so. So hope that's helpful. So one of the other really big trends is Americana. The red, white, and blue that have been part of the whole how do we say it? Not bicentennial, centennial, the 250th birthday of the United States, if you start counting at 1776 with the Declaration of Independence. And so I wanted to share with you a couple of ways that this blue skirt and the red skirt, they are both part of the maxi skirt trend. I wanted to make sure to include them in this video. Here are several ways that you can wear these and style these with using the scarf trend as well as just with the maxi skirts themselves and different tops. And this, I want to show you this and one that I have in my pocket. I feel like a magician. These are the 100% silk, two of the 100% silk scarves that I got on Amazon. Gosh, this was for our trip to Paris in 2024. It is, I mean, talk about an Americana. This is so beautiful. It's 100% mulberry silk, as is this one. And I've just used it kind of as a belt with this blue. I will list these below, but look how beautiful. And this, again, 100% silk on Amazon. So lovely. I have worn this as a twill wrapped around the handle of a handbag. This one I have used as a shawl. Like, talk about drama. This is 100% silk. I have used it when I wear a strapless dress. I have worn this to hang this way. I'm not recommending necessarily doing it with this top, but you could. But you can see these silk, 100% silk. You could do it all kinds of ways. You could basically make this into a skirt if you had the right lining. You could use this and create a belt. Again, this wraps all the way around. You could double wrap it to the side like that. So pretty. Let me show you it up close. I know I'm a little undone, but we're at the end of the day. Isn't that beautiful? I forget what size this is, but I will list that below. But sort of just the inverse of that. They may have come as a 2-pack, if I remember. Again, unbelievable, 100% silk. So if you are looking for scarves of various and sundry sizes, Amazon, can't recommend it highly enough. Voila. A whole new outfit, and all I did was add a belt and pull the scarf through like it's almost like a halter top, but I still have on my top. Nobody panic. Everything's fine. No one's gonna get hurt here. I just thought this is a fun, for me, date night. I mean, I could wear this to lots of situations because, again, what we're dealing with is an Amazon belt, a linen blend maxi skirt from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, a silk scarf, 100% mulberry silk from Amazon, and shoes from Amazon. Nothing about this is going to break the bank for sure, and it's incredibly comfortable. But if you needed to zhuzh something up, I get it. This may be more than anyone out there has bargained for. But I thought, why not? Like, add a belt, see what that looks like. And obviously I could add a belt and take away the scarf and see what that looks like. And again, nothing is too revealing. But my point is to give you the courage to try different ways of styling it. Just play around with it. There are no fashion police out there ready to stop you and make you stop being creative. So just go with what your instincts tell you, what your family tells you is good or not, and try it. Don't be afraid to just play around with these latest trends. Okay, we're gonna move away from more Met Gala. I know that's saying a lot, and moving into more trips to the grocery store. So bear with me. And if you want to wear it just as a scarf, that works too. Okay, this is very Americana. I'm sure it's one of those things that now you see it, you can't unsee it in terms of if you have the red, white, and blue mix. But I did want to show that if you just add a cardigan, I could add my navy cardigan to it. Anytime you add that third layer, it does bring things up just a little bit. Again, makes it look even more intentional. So still have the little sneakerinas on, just added this as a backup in case I get chilly, and then I'm off for the day. And so we have gently moved into the late summer, early fall, depending on where you live, but certainly by adding the dark chocolate, the chocolate dark brown. It could be dark chocolate, that is my favorite, and the chocolate suede boots. It definitely does not look seasonally inappropriate to pair it with blue. While it is a brighter blue than the dark navies, I think this is a nice way to transition because there's no law that says we have to just go dark, dark, and dark once we get closer and closer to the winter. So for me, this would work really well to keep things bright as far as my personality, but also be seasonally appropriate. Grab your scarf, your newfound accessory that brightens things up, but also just adds that extra little punch of color, extra little touch of intentionality that makes the whole outfit come together. One of the other great reasons to be aware of trends is also for our benefit of realizing, oh, something like chocolate brown can trend all year round now. It used to just be a fall color, but now it trends. It has been trending through the spring, through the summer. It will go on into the fall, obviously. And this is a linen shirt. So this is a nice transition into that later season as we're right before pre-fall kind of thing, or like what we get is we get faux fall and then it gets hot again, and then faux fall and then gets hot again. And so a linen shirt that is in that autumnal color matched with a linen blend maxi skirt that I'm going to continue to wear. And if on those colder days I add my brown suede boots with it, it fits that season, that transitional season, because this literally is like a mixture of summer and fall all mixed together. So thank you, trending colors as well as trending pieces. When next year's spring, summer comes around, you're back. You have your blue linen blend skirt with your yellow sweater and your yellow shoes, and with the bright white pop of color. This is what I'll be wearing right now in the summer, into the end of summer, particularly wearing the sweater. Obviously, I could tie it around my neck and wear it that way, but this is just another way to style this skirt, reminding me and hopefully you that spring always comes back around, summer always comes back around, and we would still have it in our closet with all our favorite pieces to wear next year as well. One other probably more obvious way to extend the life of your linen blend maxi skirt through the end of summer is to pair it on those cooler nights, whenever it does finally get cooler, when it's more like sweater weather, but maybe you're not ready for the browns and the tans and all of that color. Go back and look and see if you still have maybe a Fisherman sweater, which has been on trend forever. It is a classic, but you can find them at most retailers right now. This one came from Quince. It's divine. It's 100% cotton. I keep it in a drawer in our extra bedroom so that I can pull it out whenever I want it. And it is July something something right now. It feels lovely in here right now, especially with the air conditioning. So it may seem like a contrast to pair this with flip-flops, but if you, again, have a late summer beach vacation, be sure to take one of these because the nights do get cooler because there's so much wind, and it's a fun way. It feels very, I don't know, Nantucket-y. I've never been to Nantucket, but I would imagine this is probably on brand for that. For me, it just is a relaxing way. I would wear this to work from home because it feels so nice. It's so comfortable. Linen blend, 100% cotton sweater, and flip-flops. Amazon flip-flops, by the way, if I haven't already mentioned that. They are cloth. I don't know if I showed these. I'm going to come up. I have really enjoyed these. I think I saw these on Dana Perez is show, almost said show. It's not a TV show on her channel, but love these. I think I forgot to show a while ago the kitten heels, the jelly kitten heels up close, so you can see how little teeny tiny heel. Perfect for me height-wise. I love that it's squared off a little bit because it's not like a squared off shoe or boot in that way that because it's a flip-flop, you see my feet. It doesn't need to be pointed to still feel elongating. But that is what these that is what these look like. These are by Madden Girl, very inexpensive. And like I said, I can list, if I can't find this exact pair, I know there are other ones, and for sure Walmart has several, so they're everywhere. All right, back to other ideas. Yet another very Americana look. This is Cotton Poplin and Cotton Poplin. This one is from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and this is from Quince. Love them both. This I got about a year ago. I have worn it several times. Love it with all the things. I could easily drape my navy cardigan over it or my red cardigan over it, and decided to kick it up a notch with the little kitten heels from Amazon, and my basket bag that I love so much that I got at a consignment sale for $10. Love this look, and again, could see me way into the end of summer for sure. Okay, you don't often find me in a ball cap. But believe it or not, I do own some. This is one I bought for our trip to Greece 2 years ago. This is the maxi skirt that I wore for our 4th of July with our friends, and wore it with the white shirt with the blue flower here. It was I was gonna talk again about how my skin feels and doesn't feel, and it was just a rough day physically, but was bound and determined I wanted to celebrate with my husband and with my family and with my best friend. And we did. And having a maxi skirt, to be honest, I couldn't bear the thought of putting on pants and shorts. Felt like I would get a breeze of cold air and be cold, which sets off that trigger, blah, blah, blah. I'm only skipping over it because I don't want to bore you to death with all of that. But just to say that there are just times a dress or a maxi skirt have and can be a lifesaver for me right now. So I really enjoyed this. This is the Quince Fisherman 100% cotton sweater, and I love it. Again, I keep it handy. Skin's a little, when you try on clothes over and over again and you got allodynia, it can be a little trying on skin. But anyway, let's stay focused on this, right? But again, this checks that box of very Americana, especially when I add the blue, but just the red and the white, the fisherman sweater, all of this is in that trending feel style. Not to keep beating a dead horse, I keep folding it up because I think I like it better a little less long, but it's just long, and it depending on how I want to wear it, if I just want to walk around the house and it's very comfortable that way, that's a relaxed, easy style, oversized. But because I'm short, cropped is always better. And I don't have heels on with this skirt. If I bring it out, as you can see, as I was earlier, it's a lot. It feels like a lot. Like I just have no shape whatsoever. So the magic of flipping it under. Now, if I was wearing this out, I would fix it and either tuck it under my bra or tuck it better. I also have those sweater things where it's like an elastic band where you put it around and you can tuck it that way. But again, for petite galleys, this just works better on my shape and size and figure. I've just got it with these sneakerinas. You've seen them already, I think. And this is such a cozy, comfy, I can wear it now. Obviously, I wouldn't go out running a marathon in this sweater, but it is 100% cotton, so it's breathable. I definitely will be wearing it through the end of summer into what is our early fall, because around here there's this thing called football season. And the reason I'm laughing is because we are not sports people. My daddy was not a sports person, so my poor brothers had to go to somebody else's house to watch football because he could just care less. He liked old movies, and I did too, obviously, and so I would just sit and watch old movies with him while the rest of the world was debating of whether it was Alabama or Auburn. And I have to tell you, the colors do reveal we were, not as a household, but certainly the people who cared about sports in my household were Alabama people. Please don't unsubscribe if you are not. It's just, it's my heritage. It is not, I don't know the difference. And I don't want to say I couldn't care less. I do get excited only because that's my home state where I grew up. I was born in Georgia but grew up in Alabama. Now I'm back in Georgia. I did love when people were so celebratory and excited, but I didn't know, I had no idea what was going on because, again, didn't watch sports ever. Gymnastics, that was what I watched. But all that to say that this could work. This is more red than crimson, but Georgia, I could put a black sweater on and I would be in like Flynn. I just couldn't tell them that I was from Alabama. But you get the idea. Like, this is a look that will continue on as everything else. The whole point of why I'm making this video is to help you see that these pieces aren't just one and done in terms of, that's it, I've worn it for 3 weeks and then I won't wear it again until next summer. These can easily transition all the way through. Obviously, this is a cotton poplin skirt. And if it's going to be colder than this requires, obviously you can put leggings or fleece lined leggings underneath it. Should you want to show your spirit, you could wear it at Christmas time, add green, add white. Like, I've got the red shoes, the red kitten heels that I could wear this with and dress this up. I don't know that I would reach for my cotton poplin skirt necessarily in the winter, deep winter, but I'm just saying, if I needed a red skirt, guess what? I have one. My whole point in this is to expand our horizons, make sure we're not limiting ourselves in terms of, oh, I don't want to step out and try that because it's just for such a short time period. You could wear your favorite colors any time of the year if you keep it within your style and if you just play around with it, be creative, don't be afraid, and if it feels good to you, I think you're going to really enjoy that. So, all right, and I have a few more ways of styling this one that will still be very summery, and then we will see what we can do in pulling it into the fall. Red may be a little more challenging to pull into the fall, but we'll see. There is truly nothing cozier than a cashmere sweater. I had never owned a cashmere sweater until probably this time last year when they were on clearance on TJ Maxx and Marshall's website, and so it is so lovely. I'll come in and show you. It's not available, obviously, but I know that Quince has some like this at a reasonable price point. This was incredibly reasonable. I can't remember what it was, but it was like Quince level or less. And I just thought, again, if we are seeing how far we can push the red cotton poplin skirt into the cooler months, this might be a way to do that. And keeping a neutral top for such a bright color is really a great formula anyway, at least for me, because then I'm not trying to compete with other strong colors. Obviously, I could add black and tone this down, but I think I've shared that right now black just feels heavier than I want to go with something like this. So let me come in and show you this cashmere. Let me tease you, cashmere sweater that you can't have, but it is so soft. I feel sure they'll have cashmere sweaters. I'm already seeing cashmere dropping on TJ Maxx and Marshall, so I will be sure to list at least something similar for you, even if it's on Quince versus TJ Maxx and Marshall's. And just have on my Amazon ivory colored, kind of leaning towards, yeah, they're definitely ivory, leaning towards cream colored boots. And this is another look for you. I think I only have a few more to show you for the red, so there you go. I just wanted to add one other style of white sweater before I put the red and the white away. I've created kind of an asymmetric look, or tried to, we'll see. But the idea being that this is a very relaxed, easy way, again, late summer when things start cooling off, if they do where you live, that this kind of sweater, it's oversized, it's very, very comfortable. Obviously, this is an old Navy sweater that I got a couple of years ago, but I just liked the way that looked. And again, asymmetric. I'm not usually very big on asymmetric. I am, things in my brain have to be equal. But I liked this, so I just pulled it a little more off of one shoulder and then did the same with the bottom hem, again, just to change it up. And this would be really, really cozy, comfy, as I've said, if you are at the end of the summer. So this might be just another way to style one of your V-neck sweaters instead of a crew neck, if that's This is one of my favorite tops that I have probably ever bought, and I bought it from LOFT. If you have never shopped at LOFT or don't shop there often, please don't ever pay full price. I say that, that's a little drastic, but what I will say is everything goes on sale eventually and faster than you would expect. The best way, and I know this can be annoying, but is to be on their mailing list or on their text alerts, because they will send you an alert going, hey, today everything is 70% off, but only until midnight. And that's where I keep everything that I like in a cart, like in the shopping cart. And when I see that 70 to 75% off, this shirt I think was originally $80 and I got it for 20 or 21, I think, because I just waited. And the hard part about that obviously is that if you wait too long and it sells out or sells out in your size, there have been things that I've missed, but I'm okay with that because the benefit of waiting has often paid off, like with this shirt. There was no way I was going to pay $80 for a cotton poplin shirt, despite how much I really liked it. I even went in store to touch it and feel it and see if it was the kind of thing I really liked, and it was. But I couldn't do it. There was just nothing in me that wanted to pay $80 for a cotton poplin shirt, because I just had that feeling like they're going to put this on sale. And I kept watching it and kept watching it, and sure enough. And so that would be my encouragement. Let me say it that way. It's not a hard and fast rule. And obviously, if you need something right then and there and your budget is comfortable with that and allows that, go for it. But they do put things on sale all the time. I really love LOFT. I love Banana Republic Factory. The hard part is they just start so high for me, and then I have to wait to see and keep checking back in or checking their alerts to see if my favorite things have gone into a price range where I'm like, okay, now I'll play the game. So anyway, I think I'm going to end this vlog here. Oh, I'm sure you can tell by this point that I've probably pushed it a little too far, but I have so enjoyed this. It gives me life, even if I can't be out and about and greeting and meeting and being with other humans as much as I would like to. This gives me life. I've shared that with y'all, and I hope you know how real that really is for me, that I'm not just saying that. But it takes a lot out. Someone asked me one day that I saw at church, she said, how long does it take you to do that? And I was like, well, it depends, right? It depends on how I'm feeling. It depends. The editing is the longest part, just because I don't have a super powered computer at this point. Maybe I will someday, but the trying on the clothes, it does take a long time, but it's that thing that gives me the endorphin hit of like, again, I feel like I did when I was a little girl in my mom's closet or in her drawers, where she would let me pull out her wigs or her scarves or putting on her makeup, those kind of feelings. And I feel like hopefully I'm doing this for the benefit of others, for anyone watching this, either that you've been dealing with some chronic condition, and me finding the oomph on certain days to put on pretty clothes, maybe encourage you to do the same. Or you're looking for something to wear and maybe some ideas, or you are on a similar journey. I hope that this content reaches you in a place where you need it most. I know when I watch other people's content, it just gives me so much joy. I used to be a true crime, murder mysteries, because I loved solving the problems or understanding the psychology behind why in the world would someone do that. And now my brain just is, it's not the season for anything like that. It's a season where I need things to be pretty and soft and not dramatic and not, life or death. It needs to be where it's like, hey, this is sweet. This makes me happy. The things I watch are people cultivating their garden, cultivating their wardrobe, cultivating a life that they want for themselves. And so that's what I hope that I can bring to you all as well, is that what I'm going through, both good and maybe the not so good, in somehow, some way means something to you, ministers to you. That would make my day, that would make my week, that would make all of this worthwhile. And it's not as though this is a terrible hardship. I do this because I enjoy it and because I hope that it brings meaning to someone else's life. So thank you all, love y'all, and I hope, talk to you soon. Bye. I hope you all have enjoyed maybe just learning a little bit about the summer trends that will take us into the fall.